Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, the 21st of October, November. 21st of November. Thanksgiving kind of gets started after today. So today, NVIDIA, after the market closes, FOMC minutes coming out later this afternoon, and pretty much all you got left on the table. So if you are going to be involved, obviously be prudent about what you're doing. I had a visitor come into the office right around 4 minutes before the closing bell. Visitor being my wife, coming in and saying, "What in the fuck is wrong with you screaming at the goddamn TVs?" Well, that was because we were right there at 44, 45, 45, right at it, right there. And then 50 cents. And then they went and go, boop, popped it to the close. Anyway, here, Financial Viz or Financial Juice, you'll really benefit having this right here, your tick strike. If you want to listen to the news, you can go right ahead. It is very informative. They don't blast headlines out like Benzinga does. It's very informative. It's worth having on, but tick strike is the godsend. So I'll leave you really quick here. Gap down. Monday's closed green. Monday closed green, and Monday closed green for one of the bigger days that we've had, having been in that trough of under 30 all last week during OPEX. Like I said, over on the spread room is way too unreliable for that safe edges thing, so staying off of it. So what I decided to do, I threw out what my lines were, which were those 41, 45, 41, and 45, 46. That being that I fully expected that would be most likely to be on the safe-ish risk kind of edge, and it was. And it went to 2, and it went to 3, and it even went to more than that, up at 4. As I saw here at the end of the day, got a message from TCS. He got in at $4.40 and he scalped out at 70 cents. I mean, that's absolutely amazing considering the way that it was being manipulated there at the end of the day. And those who got in the week close green, bullish puts, again, I was concerned that after we got to that 45.20, they were going to, you know what, maybe not. And boom, they went and took it right back down. 250 went all the way down to 0 for full credit. So it works, it works. To 45, 47, 38 is the close. Today is, again, a very small range, and it is the day before NVIDIA reports. So I'm not even going to put, actually, I already put a spread in the room for those that want to trade and need the action, but I'm not going to update anything as the day goes on because we got extremely overbought. We now have a 359 point month, 453 point bounce, 11.05%. We've had to move all the retracements up. And today being the 21st, we have the 22nd being Wednesday, the 24th being Friday, and then 25, 26 is your weekend, and 27 Monday is your full moon. So quite a few coincidences what are all in here. Here we go. QQQ 391.41 broke out of its range. Again, broke out of its range, trading 3, 3, 3.5, under 3, broke out of it yesterday, and never expected it. Never would have even thought that you would have seen it. And yep, right on up there. 391.41, 390.74. So now you have a new 2023 high. All retracements have now been changed. It's a 49.3-week bounce, 14.33%. So if you've never seen a blow off top before, pay very close attention because that's exactly what you're involved in. Now, November the 20th, and we put in the high here, 2023. just so happened to be that November 19th, 2021 was when we put in the highs, which are the all-time highs. So very coincidental. Anyway, I'll bring you on to the charts. SPX. So 45, 57, 11. If you look over on our detailed chart, we are right up there. The one and only gap that is honestly sitting there waiting is right there, up to 45.77. Now, bringing that into context here, I'm not a trend line guy. I never have been a trend line guy. However, when you are going to be a trend line guy, my requirements are you make sure that you draw your trend line and it is to the minute that that price was put in. The minute, the actual minute. And if you can't put it into the actual minute, you don't have a trend line. After doing that, you can view it on a 1 minute chart. 1 minute, 1 day chart over on your Thinkorswim, and you will have an accurate location for that trend line. Once you start moving things around, I mean, here we'll go to 5-day, 30-minute. It's looking as if it's in the same spot. We'll go to a 30-day, 1 hour. But very specifically, sticking with a 1 minute, and there you got it. And your high right there is right around 45.64 and going down. That line coming from right there, your all-time high, right into your July high. And here you've got your bigger wedge pivot down there on the bottom. So why I bring you to this is the OPEX chart. Yes, it is. So 5-day, 5-minute, what was I going to look for here? It was the Thanksgiving. So I will delete that little cough out of that. Gaps. Gap, and nobody is putting in a lower low. So as of now, short term, 44.86 is your bottom. Until you have a break below 44.86, you don't have anything to work with. Now, I want to bring that into context because your VIX perfectly landed on 1339. I have spoken about 1339 for years. Welcome to 1339. Enjoy it and embrace it. SPY. So you have a 46-point run. You have an 11.25 point move. You have one gap that is unfilled. However, I want your attention for all of you NVIDIA FOMO furus. There is a plethora of people that are out there just literally taking advantage of having been neuralized and now looking for anybody that's posting anything bullish. We have a fake print from August 6th on SPY at 460.26. Now the highs of the year are right below 460, right at 459 and change. 460.26, we have a fake print from back here. So if you were going to entertain yourself and get yourself involved into something that had to do with NVIDIA and NVIDIA changing the world and saying AI 727 times, 11, 24, call 460, the SPY 460 calls for Friday are trading at 20 cents. I did not look at the volume because I think it is a waste of time to go and do that, but it is what it is. QQQ, here's your move. Gap, and you have zero. I repeat, zero. Zero gaps are up above you. There are no gaps whatsoever from up here in the 408.71 down to where we are at 390. There are zero gaps, zero. So all of your gaps are filled. Enjoy yourselves while you are up here. And last but not least, I will leave you with the weak link IWM, because if you are going to get a drawdown, your drawdown is going to be a lot easier to get off of your IWM. IWM moved back up to the 50 retracement from the Trump election lows. still trading at greater than minus 25% from the all-time highs. 176 is your top of your gap. 176, I apologize, is your gap fill going back to Friday. And then you have your plethora of gaps down below. So IWM, if you want to be involved in that, VIX 1339 is here. QQ SPY fake print right at 460, and NVIDIA. I don't like having to correct people, but yes, the NVIDIA all-time high is at 520, and that came off of earnings. We are pushing up into 520 as they report their earnings later on today. If anybody looks at the structure of this move off of this bounce, there is virtually no structure to work off. I can draw a whole bunch of lines. They aren't going to fit in because we are in nano microwaves, and when they report after the closing bell today, none of it will matter because we're going to get the result that we're going to get, and everybody's going to go over and enjoy a whole bunch of turkey and prime rib and grandma's recipes. And I wish you all the greatest and most adventurous travels and happiest moments during this Thanksgiving holiday. A lot of people forget because it has been so weaponized as a shopping holiday, a watch football on the couch, fall asleep during halftime of the first game, wake up during halftime of the second game kind of holiday. But what you're here for is you're here to be thankful. You are here to be thankful for just the, sheer ability to have experienced everything that you have gone through your life, good and bad, because a lot of the bad that you went through got you to appreciate the good. And whether we like it or not, this is one less Thanksgiving that we'll all be able to celebrate. So celebrate it with happiness, celebrate it with cheer, but celebrate it knowing that you appreciate how you've gotten to where you are. Have a good holiday. Love every one of you. See you guys when I get back.